part two to that video. Does a cis hetero man finding attraction to and possibly engaging with physically a trans woman make him gay? Does he lose his man card if he likes a trans girl or goes to bed with a trans girl? The short answer is absolutely not. As a cis hetero man enjoying himself with a woman. Bottom line. To the degree that, like, as a queer person, which I am a queer woman. I'm trans, but I am a queer woman. Sometimes I get a little bit upset that I'm so freaking straight. You know what I mean? That I like guys. Sometimes when I'm with a guy, I get a little part of me gets kind of peed off that it's like, I can't believe I'm doing this hetero thing. You know? Like, I feel bad that I'm being so hetero. So yes, a straight cis guy finding a trans woman attractive or engaging with a trans woman or being a partner to a trans woman does not make him any less straight. There's that. But, and it's a big but, fact of the matter is, a man being attracted to a trans woman and liking her and engaging with her and possibly being her partner does not make that man queer. He might, in his own right, be a shade of queer, or he might be entirely hetero, but a man loving a woman is not queer. There is another part of this where, how do I put this? Folks who naturally have a vagina, that body part is self-cleaning and self-lubricating. And it's also positioned in such a way that looking into your partner's eyes is relatively easy. And you can choose to do so or not. For trans women, especially ones that still or have always had a penis, we have another option. It's anal. That's kind of like our bread and butter. Which, by the way, if you're a dude who loves getting head and loves having anal, and you're like, I don't understand women, why wouldn't they want to try that? I mean, yeah, sure, some girls get off on anal and, but a lot of girls complain about having to give head, or they treat like anal like it's this special fragile gift flower that, like, only your birthday and Christmas, get with a trans girl. Cause yeah, we're not so beholden to that. It's more like, all right, let's do this. We're excited about it. We're enthusiastic. At least most of us. We're enthusiastic. So yeah, there's the thing. For cis women and anyone who has a vagina, the vagina itself, amazing by the way, is self-cleaning, self-lubricating. You feel like getting it on, and as long as everything's okay down there, pants come off, and action. With trans women, especially those that have not undergone any kind of gender reassignment surgery, there's a little bit of prep involved. There's a little bit of like cleanup and just basically maintaining the area down there and lubricating, hopefully, to make things more enjoyable for both partners, so that things go more smoothly, to put it bluntly. Sometimes there is this, like, I think it was Erica Jung in Fear of Flying, who is like, a zipless fuck, which that's a book. Do people read books anymore? Let me know down in the comments below if you read books. Read books. I know someone who's like, oh yeah, I'm on my 10th book this month. And it's like, those are audiobooks. You listen to those while you lift weights. I actually read books. I flip pages. I guess Kindle counts, or like on a tablet and stuff like that counts too. But I like spreading book sheets. You know what I mean? But yeah, for trans women who have not had gender reassignment surgery and stuff like that, our option is the back door. And, we get over the fact that, like, like a lot of cis women are like, well, if you had two holes, you would, prefer it in the front one. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have that option. And also, I kind of enjoy, I get pleasure out of the way that I do things. But there is, like, this whole aspect of, like, you got to clean it. You have to watch what you eat sometimes. There's forethought that goes into it. Like, if I know I'm going to have a date, I'm making sure I'm eating well up to that date, and that I'm cleaning myself out. Even when I have, like, company come over and stuff like that, it's like, got to make sure I have that extra hour to go ahead and take a shower and douche, essentially, enema douche, and make sure I'm all clean down there and stuff. And shave, which, shave down there everywhere. It's not a requirement, but, like, why wouldn't you? In fact, that's the thing that, like, all women, cis or trans and stuff like that, tend to do more often than all men, cis or trans, is, like, we take care of everything down there. So it's not as spur of the moment type stuff with us. You know what I mean? So there's thought that goes into it. But at the same time, especially with somebody who's new, maybe it's somebody that you're talking to, and you've gotten past the steps of, like, hey, hold up. There's something you should know. I'm trans. This is what I got going on down there. And possibly negotiating. Or throwing out there, be like, I really like you. I like you a lot. And whether you want to take this on a physical course, we could do that. Or if you just want to, like, keep showing up and keep talking to me and, like, just be there for me. Which I'm going to talk about something with me, kind of like that situation that's going on right now, where it's like, like, you appear to be on the fence on whether or not getting with me would check your man card, whether getting with me would somehow make you less of a man, or getting with me would be something that you would enjoy. And in a situation like that, I can only say, either you're the type of person who is willing to try something new and is like, you know what? Screw it. Who cares what other people think? I'm going to do this. Or you're an overthinker, possibly an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And you're like, I don't know. There's a lot I got to weigh out and stuff. To which I say, we don't have to be physical. We don't have to do anything like that. There's a person in my life, right now, who I'm kind of hung up on. And by hung up on, I mean like I feel very strong emotions to and about this person. And he's definitely a cis man. And he's definitely straight. And there's tension between the two of us. And we've shared a lot emotionally. Especially, we've shared conversations about ourselves that no one else has ever heard before. Like, he's shared things with me that he's never told anyone, and I've shared things with him that I've never told anyone, including partners, including spouses. I've never been married. So, me and him have a lot in common, and there's definite chemistry between the two of us, but I don't know if we're going places, and I can't figure out if it's because, hey, does this, does my being attracted to you change anything about me? Or if it's just jitters and nerves. But either way, it is a it is a courting ritual. And I'm checking the time. It is a courting ritual. And I've already been beyond this whole, by the way, I'm trans. And by the way, this is what I got going on down there. And I'm stuck at this zone where it's like, which one of us is going to make the first move? And would it be bad of me? Would it be poor taste for me to make the first move? Because it's like, I've told him, I was just like, hey, I really like you. And it's more than just my body being excited to be close to your body. It's deeper than that. It's yes, I find you very attractive, and yes, I feel this like lust and passion for you. But on top of that, you have depth, and you are emotionally complicated in a good way, and you're intelligent, and I'm playing scenarios in my head where like I could see myself being with this guy for a while. And like I said earlier, possibly in the last episode, I've been single since April of 2024. It is now February 2025, and I'm a Libra. We're very partner minded. And like I'm seeing him, and I'm like, I like you a lot. And I've told him, I'm like, the reason I'm currently not with anyone else or actively pursuing anyone else is because I want you. Does that change our dynamic, the dynamic that he and I have together? Yeah, it does. Because it's less about two friends venting. And it's now more like, okay, that's out in the air. That's out in the open now. What happens next? And I really like this guy. But I have to be grown up enough. I have to be mature enough to understand that his life might be leading him somewhere else. And I don't necessarily mean like, oh, there's another person. I mean like he might actually be moving soon out of state. And whether we cross any kind of physical line or any kind of like deeper emotional line, he's going to be leaving soon and I'm going to have to give him up, which is hard for a couple of different reasons. To quote my friend Molly, that's my emotional support crush. Like my emotional support crush. Like when I'm feeling low, I tend to think about what it would be like to be in his arms. What it would be like to, wake up next to him. What it would be like to fall asleep with my head on his chest. What it would be like to hold him while he cried. What it would be like to laugh until it hurt. The two of us just laughing until we couldn't catch our breaths. I've thought about that with him. And I like thinking about that. And the idea that he's going to be leaving soon. And no matter what happens, I'm going to have to let him go. Hurts. And I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. Because the thought of being with him has gotten me through a lot of stuff, including matters of my last video. And I mean my video from October. The thought of potentially having a future with this guy or being around this guy for a while is something that I was looking forward to. And I was playing in my mind like, hey, this is a reason to get up every morning. And he's going to be leaving soon and I'm going to have to let him go. And then where does that leave me? Now, I received some irritating news in July of last year. In fact, July 4th of 2024, I was talking with someone who I had physical relationships with. And he basically said, yeah, there's somebody else. I'm cutting you loose. And I'm like, oh, I just called you to say, hey, happy 4th of July. And you're telling me you're dumping me. And it was more complicated than that because there was other people involved. There was at least another person involved and stuff. It was him and his girlfriend. And they were seeing me regularly. And it was nice to be included. And it was nice to be a part of something. But there was no emotional attachment at all. Until he was like, yeah, I'm letting you go because, we found somebody else. And I'm like, okay. And it's like I was getting dumped all over again. But where was I going with this? I told myself then, and I made a promise that I am going to take the time to be single, and I'm not going to worry about dating again for 1 year. July 5th, 2024 until July 5th, 2025. I'm going to be single. And now, and I've done well to keep that promise, and now I'm thinking about, if this guy that I like is gone before my release date on July 5th, before I'm like, okay, I can start looking for like someone to be with. And this guy that I like is not going to be around for really good reasons and his own personal reasons. He's going to be moving out of state, and I appreciate it. And he's already good enough a friend that I know that, like, whatever he does, a little part of me will always go with him. He's been a tremendous friend, and he's been like a brother, but he's a brother that I want to like touch. And what will that absence mean for me when he's gone? What will it mean for me when he's gone? And then I have to begin the process anew of selecting somebody or putting myself out there to find somebody, hopefully, that would match me or be a good fit for me or like have chemistry with me. Because anyone out there that's dating, it doesn't matter if you're cis, trans, or whatever and stuff like that, dating is pretty hellish right now. It's not a good time to be single. It's not a good time to be dating and on the market. Currently, I'm not. I'm not, no dating apps, none of that stuff. Not paying it any mind. But once this guy is gone, a part of me is going to go with him. But like, what's that mean for my future? And I'm going to have to, get out there again, and I'm going to have a lot of moments where it's like, hey, this is going great. We're having a great time. Everything's fun. By the way, just so you know, I'm trans, and this is what I got in my pants. I'm not looking forward to doing that with very many people, you know? And like, you gotta go through, especially with dating sites and stuff like that, you have to like narrow it down to like absolutely not, to like okay maybe, to they actually show up, down to this is who I am, can you accept me? And that hurts. It hurts because even the person that I know now, who I like a lot, who we bonded emotionally on a lot of different things and stuff like that, he knows what I am, and it's still like I don't know, and it's not transphobia. It's more or less like I've got a lot of stuff going on right now in my life, and I'm like, okay, I got you. I'm not gonna press it too hard, but just so you know, the reason I'm not hanging out with anyone else right now is because I like you and I'm focused on you. And as long as you'll let me and as long as you're around, I'm gonna be loyal and I'm gonna maintain my focus on you. And no matter what happens, I'm gonna have to give him up and I'm gonna have to let him go. And that's a level of maturity I didn't know that I had in me. Even if he does, like, you know what? Even if he does end up liking me before he goes, I'm going to have to let him go. And that's going to hurt. It's going to be a beautiful hurt, though. It's going to be exquisite pain. Being like, I like you. We had a brief moment, and I'm going to let you go live your life. I think that's where I'm going to end it here. General overview of this whole video is that, like, dating itself is complicated enough. And there's at least one or two rituals that trans women have to deal with that cis folks don't have to. And that is the whole, like, by the way, this is something I need to reveal about myself. And now it's up to you to either accept that and show interest or deny it. And we just end things right here. And it's a very vulnerable